Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/PBT and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/PBT. I recommend Ready Player One. Let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome to Peanut Butter and Triggered. I am Scott, joined by my man
Jason. What's up?
It's so great to be here today. We're gonna talk about a few things here. We're gonna have a big chunk of news, talking about a few different things in movies and video games. We're gonna talk a little bit about crossplay, the PDW, and lastly, we're gonna talk about how much content a publisher should provide after launch. Do you want to start with your very small or non-existent PDW, sir?
Yeah, my playing, doing, watching it consists of not playing anything, not watching anything, and doing a whole lot of bed rest because I've been under the weather like a little bitch.
Oh, that's okay. That's why we're a day late, but no big deal. Well,
yeah, I feel like my brain was like leaking out of my ear while I was sick. So if I'm a little slow today, that's why.
Like the melting head in Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Can we talk for just a super second? That may remind me.
Yeah.
Do you know what one of the most... I might have talked about this before. If you guys haven't seen this, I'm going to recommend you pause the podcast right now if you're in a safe place and you're not driving. Go online and type in this. The Thing defibrillator scene.
Oh, yeah.
You know
that was
what I'm talking
awesome.
about?
Of course I do.
Even to this day, one of the most powerful scenes, like gore-wise, and there's no special effects. It's all
practical effects.
All practical effects. Basically, this guy goes... Well, I'll just let you go watch it. That's all I got to say.
Dude,
I don't know why I thought about that.
That movie is on so many like all-time lists for like horror movies because specifically because of like things like that. That movie had a great story and it had great practical effects. Like that movie doesn't get enough kudos. If you haven't seen it, please, for the love of God, for the love of all that is holy, go watch that. It
definitely has some of the best gore in the biz, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But my playing, doing, watching, I got some interesting stories. Major things I've been playing. First off, I've been playing Squad. If you enjoy realistic shooters, I highly recommend going and buying Squad. It's $30, but it's only on PC. It by far is the best team-oriented game I've ever played. You have to play team-oriented. You can't just run out and shoot people. It just doesn't work like that. I played last night, got in a truck with like 8 guys in our squad. We shot the shit driving across the map in this truck. We got on top of this hill. You can build forward operating bases, FOBs, and then from there you can put down ammo crates, and then you can build like 50 cal bunkers or tow missile launchers, and you can actually basically set up a little base on top of, anywhere on the whole map, and it's just a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend it. That's what I've been playing lately and kind of what I'm addicted to. But I also got to play some Call of Duty, which was impressive. I really like Call of Duty. It's fast. It's fun. It's, I don't know, it's good.
I stopped playing Call of Duty after, I think it was Black Ops 3. Does it feel a lot different from any of the previous Call of Duties?
100%. Yeah, it still has that quick death, like time to kill.
Yeah.
It's still quick. But it has little things, like, for example, there are bipods, so you can lay down and put down a bipod, or you can lean on a windowsill, or there's a couple different modes. There's the nighttime mode and the realism mode. In the realism mode, you have no HUD at all, which is kind of cool. And then in the nighttime mode, you wear night vision goggles, and instead of aiming down the sight, whenever you aim, instead of aiming like down your laser sight, whenever you aim, a laser comes on your gun and everyone can see it. So anytime you're aiming down the sight, anyone with night vision can see your laser. So there's kind of like some tacticalness, if you will, in trying to balance aiming and being accurate with also not giving away your position. And you can do things like if you go into certain houses, you can turn all the lights on and take off your night vision goggles. So anyone who enters will have their vision completely whited out, which is just, I don't know, it's just different ideas, which was a lot of fun. They're doing the crossplay beta all open to the public starting tomorrow, Thursday, September 19th. So if you own a computer, a PlayStation, or an Xbox, go play it tomorrow.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
So with the realism like mode of that game, if you're wearing like a headset, is everything like directional? Is all the sound directional?
Yeah, it's just like the old games where like if someone's walking behind you with like running, you can hear it.
That's super rad.
It's fun. It's quick. The graphics are really good. It's on a different engine than because basically Call of Duty was on the same engine since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Is that an in-house engine?
What's that?
Is that an in-house engine?
Yep.
Okay.
And so now they're on a new engine. So before, like every Call of Duty, like everyone who was sprinted the same. They like all looked the same, you know?
Yeah.
Now, it's all different. Like, for example, now there's a super sprint. So if you double click, he'll sprint even quicker, but it's on a limited distance. So there's perks around that. There's just a lot of different things. The maps are definitely more open, whereas the old maps, it was a lot of choke points, and you were like, you know, like basically when you started, you could usually go like 3 or 4 different ways to go to the enemy, and here there's like tons of different ways and a lot of ways to attack it. And I don't know, it was just, I was really impressed enough to where I pre-ordered it, so I've really enjoyed it.
Did you get your night vision goggles?
Oh no, I didn't buy the special edition night vision goggles.
Bastard.
I have a pair of those night vision goggles.
Yeah, we were supposed to both wear them and go explore the homeless camps.
That's right. Outside of Ben's house.
Yeah, they've all migrated, so they're not there anymore.
Damn.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Seriously, how embarrassing.
Yeah, but I'm also not trying to catch like Hep C or something, so.
Well, we can still get Hep C.
That's up to you, I guess. I'll count myself out of that one.
But that's basically it. I also watched the new episode of Great British Baker. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah, I wish Ben was here to get frustrated with you for saying Great British Baker. It's the Great British Baking Show.
Bake Off?
Baking Show. They changed the name not too long ago. It was the Bake Off. Now it's the Baking Show.
Huh.
But he would get upset and he says you make it sound like this giant fat British baker.
I remember now.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Wait, so you're past, what was it, Bread Week? It was Bread Week, right?
Bread Week was the most recent episode we just watched.
I watched that too. That is one thing I did watch.
Yeah, and now I know that I have an episode of the Gemstones that's loaded that I need to watch. I'll probably watch it tomorrow night.
Okay, so I did also watch that. So man, maybe I did fib a little bit. So the Bread Week was definitely surprising. That's the one that I feel like separates the amateurs from the slightly above amateurs. I was surprised with how well a lot of their breads turned out. And if anybody's interested in this show, like, you'll know what we're talking about. If anybody doesn't give a shit about baking, then you might want to tune out for this part. But like there was like the tear and share part of the episode that was super impressive. Oh my god, dude! Like my mouth was watering the whole time. Some of them looked like shit though, but like a lot of them looked really good. So it was hard to pick a winner for that. But yeah, that was incredible. And then you haven't seen Righteous Gemstones, at least not the latest episode. I will say that I was underwhelmed this week.
Oh, okay.
But
we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, but Brent, the silver-haired man that I work with, he was really impressed by that episode because it gives you more insight on Baby Billy Freeman and Eli Gemstone's history and it also explains a little bit more history about Amy Lee Gemstone, the dead mom.
That's cool.
So brace
I knew
yourself.
there had to be something more to her. So
Yeah, but like off of that, like that cliffhanger of an episode where that giant crash happened with Gideon and the guy in the van,
yeah.
I wanted to pick right up from there. So you have to wait another week for any sort of
Mm,
resolution with that, and that's what pissed me off the most.
yeah. There was one other thing I did too. Now that we're talking about it, I did get another game of Dungeons and Dragons in,
Oh shit! What was that
and
like?
my wife's friend, she's apparently written a 7 chapter, um, basically a 7 chapter game, and we've played for maybe 2.5, 3 hours total. She says we're through the epilogue and 10% through the first chapter of the 7. She's
Damn.
drawn a whole map. Like, she drew a map of the city that we cruised into, and she's like, "You go wherever you want." And it was actually kind of funny. Like, we basically went to this hotel, and again, she's playing all the characters. If you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, um, and my dude's a paladin, but I think he's kind of like developed into a skeezy paladin. He definitely steals and he thinks he's good, but I don't think he really is.
He thinks he's
Um,
good, but he's definitely not good.
he's hypocritical. So
That's
I
so
think that
awesome.
in his head, he thinks he's doing the right thing and the good thing, but it's really not. Like, I stole a bunch of keys, and then I stole a bunch of shit and ran out with like a stolen cloak on, and yeah, that's been a lot of fun. That's the other thing I was
Seven
doing too.
chapter campaign. That's this person.
She
Whoever your friend is, she sounds like a fucking badass.
Yeah, she draws it all. She has like a whole continent drawn with all the towns and stuff drawn on it, and she's like, "Hey,
Jeez.
just so you know, we're gonna be going to every single town here." I was like, "Damn!" Like, it's gonna take us a long ass time to get through that.
Jeez. How do you guys
But
create like stopping points? Is each chapter a stopping point? Or
Sarah, it seems
unless you're like
like a
planning on
good
like
stopping
going through
point. Yeah, I
the
mean,
entire 7 chapters in one
for
go.
example, if we don't go through the 7 chapters in one go, it's impossible. It's going to take like hours and hours. We're 10%. We're probably, if I had to guess, we might be 30% through the first chapter, and we've played 2 separate sessions. So I don't think you could do it in one sit down.
Yeah, that would be rough. I mean, it would just be a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if anybody has that
Yeah.
kind of energy in them.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. It's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of fun. I actually think it's something that you and Katie might actually enjoy.
Oh, I mean, we've done one little mini campaign. We enjoyed it. We definitely have our own characters and stuff too. So,
Maybe sometime we could get you guys over, because I think the more the merrier for sure.
it would be fun.
But yeah, that's the only other things I have been doing. Do you want to start us off with some news?
Yeah,
You have anything
we
else?
actually have a lot of news, oddly enough. It sounded like quiet enough until like I actually did some searching here, and I think the biggest part that stuck out to me like a sore thumb was Rambo's been getting the Rambo movie that is coming out, I think on the 20th, Last Blood. It's getting really like negative to mixed reviews. Um, like it's weird. IMDb gives it an 8.1, but then like Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 47. I think IGN said that it basically is a complete like repeat of all the shitty like action movies that are out there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a mixed bag. And it doesn't sound like it's mixed with anything great. I'm kind
Well,
of
they
worried
said
about it.
too. It says, this is the only thing that I find that might be interesting. It says, quote, from IGN, the level of gore in this film is absurdly intense.
I mean, it's a Rambo movie, so I would hope so. But I don't know. I mean, the IMDb reviews are going to be user generated, so I don't know how like there are any user reviews at this point. But if you're a fan of Rambo and you're going in expecting a complete bloodbath because it's called Last Blood, I
Yeah.
mean, you got to know what you're in for, and I think that's why it's getting good user reviews and like really negative critic reviews. I'm not expected to be like riveted by any like like insane drama or really great dialogue or a really like compelling story or anything like that. Because I mean, he's basically just rescuing somebody again, just like he does in every single movie, except for like maybe First Blood. So I'm more interested to see like how Kevin McAllister he goes with all of his Home Alone
Yeah.
booby traps and stuff, and I want to see if if he's carrying around a saw or like he gets behind like the behind like a 50 cal and just mows people down. Like that's
It
more of
says
the stuff I'm interested in.
I'm interested in that too, and IGN makes me like this is making me want to watch the movie more. It says
Their negative
by
review.
yeah, by the time the filmmakers hasten to the eyeball melting action at the film's climax, one can feel the sigh of release finally being able to depict outright decapitation, severed feet, exploding heads, and at least one makeshift vivisection.
Nice. That sounds like me over the week. I've been sick.
What's a vivisection?
A live dissection.
Oh wow.
It's pretty gross. I count me in for Last Blood. I'm just gonna be the first to say it. I'm still gonna go watch it. I'm gonna expect, a good movie, a decent to good movie. I'm not expecting greatness because Rambo or First Blood already took that award in the Rambo series for me.
Yeah, I'm interested enough to see it. My wife won't want to watch it at all, so it's a movie I could watch alone, maybe on lunch.
Yeah, maybe. Why not? What about you? What piece of news do you have?
Just like we talk about pretty much every other week, microtransactions are back in the news.
Oh,
Kotaku reports a player spent $62,000 in RuneScape,
damn.
which quote reignited community anger around microtransactions. There's still a lot of countries that are trying to outlaw this, and I'm against outlawing it. I feel like you're an adult. If you don't want to buy something, don't buy it,
Man, that's a house down
Um,
payment.
yeah, exactly. And like obviously kids I mean it's basically gambling, right? I think
Yeah.
the only thing that they should be required to do is put up the chances of whatever you're like get quote unquote gambling for. So say if you're buying a loot box, it'll say like 1 in 100 chance you get this item, and it actually has to have the 1 in 100 chance you get the
Yeah.
item. As long as the player knows like there's a chance and there's actually a chance, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I see where you're coming from. I don't want to make it. I don't want that to be the norm for video games, though, and I feel like that would encourage it to be the norm. But at the same time, like I don't want to be able to outlaw something just for the sake of outlawing it, just because people are sour about it. People definitely have their own free will, and it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to, waste a bunch of
mm.
money on it.
But then I also think like then just like I say, vote with your money. If you don't like microtransactions or you don't want to be in a community with microtransactions, don't use it or play games that don't have them.
Right. Yeah,
Because
I'm with you.
I don't play any games really with microtransactions. I mean, like Battlefield has microtransactions, but it's only for the skins,
Yeah.
which I'm always okay with. Like skins can cost money. I understand that, which we'll talk about a little later, that publishers got to make a buck too, because they're saying a third of all their revenue comes from the microtransactions.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I got a bunch.
Cool.
Speaking of microtransactions, 2K20, NBA 2K20 is back in the news. Remember last week how we were talking about critic reviews were saying that the game is decent, gameplay mechanics seem a bit smoother, yada yada yada. Well, we get to the user reviews. The game is nearly unplayable because of the microtransactions. Servers, go figure, they are completely backed up. We're seeing at the worst 12-hour loading screens. Like at that point, like I don't even know who would
Wow.
want to like sit there and time
12-hour loading
it.
screens.
Yeah, like somebody must have been doing it just to prove a point. But
There. At
holy
what point do
cow.
you just turn it off? Did someone?
I'm assuming most people turn it off, but
Yeah.
like somebody must have been trying to prove a point. I mean, the people that downloaded it off of Steam, like on their dock, they're still seeing NBA 2K19 badges. So it's clearly just an afterthought from 2K that they wanted a polished product out there. It's clearly not. It seems to be more of like a NBA 2K19 gets a DLC with a roster update and then a new title, you know. And then the other
Yeah.
thing that magically seems to work perfectly fine is like anything dealing with microtransactions or they have this new like slots mode where you basically play a game of chance to get like my team card packs and so forth. So I mean, go figure. The thing that's going to make them the most money is magically working. But if you want to play the game, then be ready to sit through long loading screens.
Yeah, I couldn't do that at all.
Yeah.
Now I have a little bit of a. This is another news story I have
Yeah.
for you, which is interesting because we're going to be talking about the economics of games a little bit.
Sure.
But this is interesting. A developer. This is again from Kotaku. A developer named HitSense. They recently, well, not recently. In January of 2018, they released a game called Draw a Stickman Epic 2. They had decent sales. After a while, they reduced the price of the game by 30% to $6.99. They saw a sales increase of tenfold. So even though they reduced the price, they actually made more money because there were more. Because it was like
it was more attainable.
So what they decided to do is go ahead and put it at the end of August, put it on sale for 99 cents. One of the developers said, quote, "This one made me a bit nervous, just, making it that cheap." Their sale paid off with 1,000 times more copies being sold that day. And we're seeing this on Steam too, that when these developers are cutting their discounting their game by like 80 or 90%, they're actually making substantially more money, which is crazy. There's just so many more people are buying it.
I mean, I know for me, whenever I see something that goes on sale, I'm more after the value aspect. So I'd imagine that a lot of people are thinking like that too. So if they see something that's great value, they're going to buy it. Easy.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of games taking advantage of this, discounting games from $9.99 to 39 cents. And they're making like a ton of money because people are like, 39 cents, why not? And then they just buy it even if they don't play it ever again.
Yeah.
And they're just selling like copies upon copies upon copies, like everyone.
Jesus.
Which is totally crazy.
I mean, like I said, it makes sense, and sure, I would do it,
Mm-hmm.
Well, more finance, I guess, sort of related news. Google Stadia is nearly sold out. It's sold out in Europe. I'm talking about the Founders Edition pre-order bundle.
Mm-hmm.
In USA and Canada, however, it's nearly sold out. So people are really getting behind this whole Google Stadia thing. And then the Founders Edition, if you're not familiar, it comes with a special colorway of the controller, 3 months of the Stadia service, and a Google Chromecast Ultra to help play like on a television. It's interesting because I really, I mean, I would like this to succeed just so that there's like another platform to play on. I just had no idea that anybody was that interested in it.
Yeah. I think the price point at $130 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you get a nice controller and that Google, how much are those? $50?
I think they're $79.99.
Yeah, so that's not bad. And the games they have on there are no joke. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Borderlands 3, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about though, kind of over and over again. I just don't know if we're the target for something like this. I know I'm not. I have a PlayStation, a PC, and an Xbox. Like I wouldn't spend the money to buy something else just to play a game on something like I could already buy it on.
Well, here's the thing. I could see some people wanting to get behind Google Stadia, and the thing that's most attractive about it for me is that it's subscription based, just like anything that we're seeing now, like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Now, yada yada. But like say there's a game that's about to come out and I wanted to start a subscription just to play a certain game. That game cost me $10 for that month. Let's say I like it. I end up playing it for like, what, 6 months or something like that. That's about the cost of what the game normally costs. I mean, again, you're
Mhm.
probably still going to you're definitely still going to have to buy the title, but you can pick this service up and drop it just as fast. So, I mean, it, it doesn't financially make sense for a guy like me or you because we have the consoles, but like imagine for people out there that don't have the latest and greatest console and they want the latest and greatest like graphics and they want the latest and greatest game. That would just be an easy way to do it, especially for people that may or may not have like some of the Google stuff. Like I already have a Chromecast, and I imagine there's a lot of people out there that do. Um, and with you being able to use any hardware, like existing controllers and stuff, that's not that bad, man.
Well, the question is it going to actually be like a host of games like on Netflix, or are they just going to have like 12 games? Because it says additional games released, free games released regularly, starting with Destiny 2, the
Yeah,
collection. Does that mean it's going to be like the PlayStation games of the month, where you get like one or two a month,
that's
or
what
does
I'm
that mean we'll
thinking.
have a catalog?
I don't know. I think it's going to be more along the lines of like games with gold or the PSN free games.
Yeah. So, but I agree with you. Yeah, you throw in $5 or $10. It's $10 for the subscription. Play
Yeah,
for a month. That's what I did with Xbox One, and I'm playing through Metro.
yeah, yeah,
So I get that too.
yeah. Um, let's see. What else is in the news? Scotty, do?
Hey, let's talk a little bit about Borderlands.
Yeah, why not? That's new and fresh.
Decent reviews all the way around. People are saying it's the Borderlands they've always come to love.
Is there anything that's like glaringly like terrible about it?
Yeah, the thing that we talked a tiny bit about this, but yeah, the big reason I would want Borderlands is to play with my wife. We talked about this before on here, that Borderlands is a game that we played together. Um, According to IGN, they released a separate video for this, literally just like a singular video that was a warning about the consistent frame drops when playing split screen. They said that if you're playing on a regular PlayStation 4, the frame drops are all pretty much unplayable. If one of the two people in the split screen is in the menu, the other can barely play because it's so choppy. And they said even on PlayStation Pro, it doesn't run well, even if you put it on the smoothest setting, not beautiful like smooth.
Yeah.
And they say it's like, unless they fix it, it's not worth it to get.
How bad are they talking? Like, how bad does it get?
It's dropping like into the single digits. It's like laggy,
Whoa.
like to where like it literally you're turning and it's like skipping. Really bad lag.
Hmm.
Not just like a frame rate of drop to where it looks worse, to where it's not playable.
Damn, dude, that's pretty terrible. I mean, that was one of the games out there that like was considered like a top tier couch co-op.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
Hey, one thing I wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about before the show or anything is,
Yeah.
did you watch that Death Stranding 10-minute thing I sent you at all, or any of it?
I watched like bits and pieces. It was like 48 minutes though, or like 50
I
something
could have
minutes.
swore the one I sent you was, it was like 10 minutes long, and it was like everything that we saw in the 49 minutes, all condensed.
Oh no, I didn't see that one. I
Uh,
saw bits and pieces of like the 47-minute one. I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch an hour of gameplay.
I didn't either, but IGN released a video that was just 10 minutes of
Jesus.
the interesting things you can do.
Yeah.
I'm like interested in this. It's kind of like a carrying shit simulator. You have like a weight limit. You have a food, like how much food you've eaten. You have the quality of your boots, which allow you to climb different heights or different steepnesses or go over different terrain. And then it was showing him load basically crates onto Norman Reedus's back. And it was crazy how much shit you could put on him. It was like unreal amounts. And there'll be like a delivery. We'll say you can deliver a certain amount, and it will give you like a location, and you just have to walk there using everything you have, grappling hooks and your ladder and stuff.
Please tell me you get like a jetpack or something.
You get a motorcycle.
Okay, that's doable.
You can and have parts you can find in the world to craft vehicles or fix and work on vehicles, or to craft stuff that will help you kind of get over the difficult terrain easier and quicker. It definitely piqued my interest. I didn't watch the 48 minutes either, but the 10-minute thing was worth watching, and I didn't even think I watched all of that. But there's like, you're basically linking, what do they say? Linking cities and towns. Huh. So you basically run from one to the other. It's just big, wide, open plain. And like, if you come across a ravine, you have to figure out a way to get across. I don't know. It's definitely interesting.
I don't know. Color me skeptical. I will still give it a chance. Because I feel like this is one of those games that everybody's hyping up. It's got to be for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to give it a chance. I'll play it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it first. I think I'm going to like red box it and then give it a chance. So that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. I think I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, because I don't want this to be another. Oh, actually, you know what? With consensus, I'm just gonna run through the last tidbit of these last like news segments. But what I was about to say leads directly into the last tidbit of some of the news. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was gonna lead me right into. I hope this doesn't turn out to be another No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky has just come out with No Man's Sky Beyond DLC or update. It looks like it might be fun again. So Scotty Doo, I might be coming for you to get my copy of No Man's Sky.
I gave it back to you, I thought. I'm pretty sure I gave it back.
Well, then
I
I'll
have
have
a copy of Dead by Daylight.
That's the one. Okay, well, never mind. I'll fire up No Man's Sky again because, again, you can create bases and stuff. You can customize your Explorer. But the other thing too, it's supposed to be like way more fun. Crafting things is gotten even more intricate, and with the ability to do multiplayer, it's actually something that you and another person can thoroughly enjoy. But it's a lot of grinding. Like, it's still a lot of grinding.
That's the number one complaint I'm seeing in the reviews.
Yeah,
not need grind and build combat.
Yeah, but you can ride an animal now. You can ride aliens.
That's cool.
You can ride and tame aliens, but that's about it. I'll see if I can fire it back up, download the update, and report back. Another couple.
And then you can play the whole thing in VR too.
Oh yeah, I heard that it's like super blurry and choppy and stuff though.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be that great. But another couple of new things. Red Dead Undead has been teased a little bit. Somebody found a zombified lady out one of the swamps and a bunch of dead bodies since the latest update. So a lot of people out there are thinking that it's going to be a Red Dead Undead Halloween thing or Halloween event.
Yeah, probably Red Dead 2, right?
Yeah. So hopefully,
like an online update.
If that's the case, consider me pleasantly surprised, and I will be jumping into Red Dead Online again because I haven't touched that game for like months. Sword and Shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield, just recently jumped back into the headlines because there's a whole bunch of other new Pokemon, and one hilariously named Pokemon named Sirfetch'd. I don't know if you remember the original 151 Pokemon. Do you?
What? Yeah.
You remember Farfetch'd, the duck?
Yeah.
He has an evolution now.
Wow.
And it's like a really regal, like all white duck.
He has a sword that's like a banana.
Yeah, no, it's a leek. So it's supposed to be like a really regal, badass version of Farfetch'd. So that's everybody's making fun of it. It's supposed to be a complete joke.
That's interesting. Wow. It's because Farfetch'd had a leak originally.
Yeah, and he was kind of good for nothing, really. Like if you ever played, like if you ever had him in your Pokemon lineup, like he was kind of like one of those roughneck workhorses, but that was about it. Even if you got him to be like high level, that's all he was ever going to be, and it was boring because it didn't evolve into anything. Now it does.
Wow. Well, I always like Scyther.
Oh
He's my favorite.
Yeah, that one was a cool one.
Back in the day, I remember playing Pokemon Snap, and then like riding past the. There was like I don't remember what level or anything like that, but I remember on the left of the Pokemon car there was like bushes, and he would open up and you could take a photo of Scyther.
Were you about to call it Pokemon or Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemans.
Oh my god. Well, I think that's it for news, unless you have something.
I don't think I do. I think that's basically it.
All right. Well, Scotty, why don't you take us to the next segment?
Do we want we have two little things. We can start with our kind of short, kind of fun one.
Yeah.
Foods that we enjoy to eat while playing video games.
Oh yeah, this one takes me back actually, because food that I enjoyed eating as like a teenager while playing video games is far different from what I enjoy eating now as an adult. So
yeah, same here.
Do you want to start or should I?
I can start.
Go for it.
I remember when I was a teenager, it used to be like Mountain Dew and like Doritos or something.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Like just shit like that. Definitely Mountain Dew.
Kevin just sent me a message that said that there's a new Mountain Dew flavor.
Oh, really? Mr. Lonely, my guy.
No, that's my cousin. Kevin is actually my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent me an image of Mountain Dew mystery flavored. It's completely clear and has a purple label. And it's supposed to taste like Skittles.
Dew mystery flavor.
Yeah.
I feel like they've done this before, right?
They have all kinds of different flavors, dude.
Oh, it's called Voodoo?
Is that what it's called?
Let
me go back to Kevin's message.
Mountain Dew's mystery Halloween flavor is officially launched, so check out store shelves.
Voodoo. VOODEW.
EW. Yeah.
I see what they did there. That's so dumb.
Wow.
I hate all the puns that they have for Mountain Dew. There was this like campaign called United States of America. I can't remember all the other dumb like Mountain Dew puns.
They had the name Mountain Dew, and then the internet got to it, and like they named it like Hitler did nothing wrong.
Right. I remember all of that.
Yeah.
Like never let the internet do any decision making.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the same thing like Taylor Swift did this thing where she said, "Hey, I'm gonna like visit one high school and play a concert. America just has to vote on it." And they voted on a school for the deaf.
Yeah, Jesus. That was awesome.
The people are saying it's orange cream or candy corn flavored.
What? That's dope.
Creamsicle flavored.
I don't really like Mountain Dew though.
They're different flavors. I don't often drink Mountain Dew. Like maybe once every 3 or 4 months. I'll be like, oh, Mountain Dew. I'll drink one. But some of their flavors are good. The red, white, and dew is good.
I do like Baja Blast. That is the one that's a constant that I enjoy. I remember I used to like Code Red a lot, then I stopped drinking it because I don't know. It fell out of favor with me.
So back in the day when I was in high school, my buddy Thad, his parents worked for I think it's owned by Pepsi, and they used to have Mountain Dew Pitch Black. And then they made Mountain Dew Pitch Black too, which was basically like a Mountain Dew with a lot of citric acid. It was like a sour Mountain Dew.
Ugh.
And it was actually delicious. It was like my favorite Mountain Dew. It was everyone's favorite Mountain Dew. Well, apparently not everyone's, but all my friends. And so they canceled it. When they canceled it, his parents got like a pallet of this Mountain Dew Pitch Black too. And I specifically remember going to school and he would open his locker and there were like 50 Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2s in his locker. He would sell them to people for 50 cents a piece.
Dude, it's like that part. Did you ever watch the music video to Nothing But a G Thing?
No.
Well, they had this big house party and they went to the refrigerator and they opened the refrigerator door while everybody was dancing and having a good time. And inside of this refrigerator, from bottom to top, it was just stacked with 40 ounces of Old English. And that's what I'm picturing right now with the Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2.
Imagine a locker, but only with a bunch of Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2.
Yeah. Far less cool.
Far less cool. Yeah, exactly. Today, I would say my gaming food. I love I'll get a Virgil's root beer.
Ooh,
It's like a bottled root beer.
I love
It's
it.
just a really, it's not,
It's like a
it's a kind
spicy.
of, what?
Is it like a spicy root beer? Like a
No, it's actually I would say a creamier root beer.
ah.
It's won all these awards. I like the Virgils a lot, so I'll just get one of those. It's like a soda that's just comes in a glass. They're a little more expensive, but I think they're really good. And then I'll throw down some Tim's jalapeno chips here and there.
You dirty turkey.
Uh,
That's a solid banquet for gaming.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Generally, I don't actually eat. I don't eat a lot while I'm playing a game. I just kind of play the game and then
That's what I
do
was gonna
whatever.
say. So
But if I had to think about it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, play a game for 8 hours, which never ever happens. And I needed a snack, that's what I imagine I would get.
hmm, I'll be
What about
damned.
you?
Well, when I was like a teenager, I remembered it was always like some form of soda. It was either like Sprite, like Barks root beer, I guess at the time Mountain Dew Code Red. And then the only other thing that I could remember was like Gatorades or oh dude, um Welch's white grape and peach juice, the one that came in like the giant paper quart container. That was always perfect. Like
That was your
it's
grind.
gotta be ice cold too. And then if I was eating anything, it would always be like some chips. Nothing too like greasy or like covered in dust because I didn't want to get it all over the controller.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario, I would eat something like crackers or something like that, like goldfish or something like that.
Shout
Um,
out, yeah, flavor bat blasted to this
yeah.
day. Oh, good.
Oh my God. Yeah, you had that like giant one that could feed a family of like
Yeah, I'm
19.
still eating that.
Are you fucking serious? That
No,
was
I'm
like
kidding. I'm
months ago.
kidding.
Okay. But dude, yeah, I remember like back in the day, those goldfish containers, I could like pour it into my mouth. I wouldn't even have to touch anything with my fingers. So that was always a good bet. Um,
Oh yeah, it's a good move.
Now, like I am totally with you. I don't really need to eat anything while I'm playing video games. Um, I'll and as far as what I drink, I just drink like black coffee. Like I don't even
You
drink.
drink that no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. Oddly enough, because I'm sick, I'm not drinking coffee right now. I don't want to dehydrate myself. But like if I had to eat something, I think it would be something along the lines of like, oh, you know what? Yeah, Oreo cookies, because I've been on that lately. Um, and then here's another like sub question. But the soft Chips Ahoy. Do you like
Oh,
the crunchy ones or the soft ones?
dude, I do not fuck with any crunchy cookies.
Whoa, not even Oreos?
Oh, like I mean, like peanut, like a chocolate chip.
Okay,
Oreos are all right. I'm
but the
not a
Chips
huge fan,
Ahoy
but
ones, right? You can't
yeah,
fuck with
like
those.
don't give me the Chips Ahoy that are like crispy or
Those
crunchy. Like,
like dog
ugh, I don't
biscuits.
even eat them. Yeah,
But the soft ones, you will eat those, right?
yeah, those are really good.
Okay, so you're officially
It's
on
been a
mine and
long time
Katie's
since I
team.
had one.
Dude, get the ones with the brownie inside.
Oh, I had one of those like maybe 6 months ago.
It was
No,
delicious.
maybe it's longer. But if you go into like a Safeway, they have the cookies up front that are
Yeah,
in like
the packs of
those.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, those
those are good.
are. They had these packs of two like 3 years ago. One of them was like a really dank peanut butter cookie, and the other one was like, almost a cake like cookie. And it was like their
Mm,
seasonal one. It was either chocolate or pumpkin chocolate chip. So dank.
dude, yeah,
So
that's
that's what I would eat.
I will tell you, I was just thinking about it. The one thing I do usually do, like every single time I play video games, and even like right now sitting in front of me, a ice cold glass of water with ice. Like I do that every time.
Do you straw or no straw?
No straw.
No straw. Oh.
Yeah, I
I,
have my Packers cup here. Actually, I have two cups in front of me because last night I left my cup out by my office. Or
yeah.
out my office. But yeah, ice cold water. Like right now, I even have to go pee because I drink like half this cup of water.
Just go.
Hey, you guys, just hold tight. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
No, don't just go now.
Okay, just go, man.
Just go on yourself. Dude, I gotta do a straw. I gotta get in and get out quick.
Oh yeah, I'm not a straw guy. Even at like if you go to a restaurant and they give you a straw like for your Coke, open top Coke. I don't get a straw.
Oh, I like a
Even like if
straw.
I go to Chipotle and I get a cup for water,
Yeah.
I don't even get a lid.
Huh.
I live life on the wild side with
I
no straw and no lid.
I like straws, but I especially like them when they're bendy straws.
Oh yeah. What
Yeah.
about the ones that swirl all around?
Crazy straws? You better
Yeah.
believe it, dude. When I was living in Bend, I had like an entire set of crazy straws, and I have no idea where they went. I, in fact,
Well,
lost all those crazy straws. I lost a cheese knife, and I lost like a quarter. I want to say it was like a quarter ounce of mushrooms. No idea where they went.
oh man, I bet you they were stolen. I bet you Mr. Lonely took them.
No, he'd never visited me while I was in that apartment in Bend,
Well, Mr. Lonely should
and
be sad that you
he would never steal my cheese knife.
never.
Yeah, that cheese knife would have been. He knew it would have been off limits.
Off limits for thievery.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Any other food we want to talk
No,
about before we move on to our final
no.
topic?
But if anybody is listening to this specific segment, tell us what your. I'm curious. What is your like food beverage combination that you most enjoy while you're gaming?
Yeah. Post actually, if you're interested, post it on your favorite presidential candidate's Facebook, and then we'll see it there.
Yeah, we'll love to see it there. All right, let's move on.
Our final thing. I'm going to monologue for just a second here.
Okay.
We're going to talk a little bit about publishers and what do they own the consumer. I talked Jay, a little bit about this before we started. In 2005, when you went and purchased a PlayStation 2 game, or a PlayStation 3 or whatever game, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, anytime, when you purchased that game, you knew you were spending 50 or 60 bucks on that game and that game alone. When I went and I bought like Resistance Fall of Man or God of War 3, I purchased that game with no expectation that the developer would ever give me any more than what was on that disc. And I paid $50 or $60. Like in 2000, so if we look at 2005 to 2019, $60 in 2005 is $78 now. But the game is still $60 today, meaning that effectively the prices of games have consistently gone down, while at the same time, people who play games and gamers are expecting more out of the publisher. I was talking to Jay a little bit of, when Mortal Kombat came out, for example, they were already toting the fact that they were releasing all these extra characters, and like when I played Battlefield, they said, hey, we're gonna have all this post release content, and to this day, 11 months after release, or maybe we've seen longer, people are saying, I want more maps, I want more guns, but they don't want to pay any more. So they're wanting more shit and they pay less. So this is the reason why we're seeing all these microtransactions. We're seeing special editions of the games that are $70 or $80 or come with statues for like $150. All that stuff is because developers are spending more on games than they ever have. And the game players are expecting more from the developers than they ever have, if they made sense. So developers are trying to close the gap with all these extras. My question to you, and that we could talk a little bit about, is should publishers have an obligation to put more out than the original $60? Do you think so? Do you think that they should be required to put more out? Because when a publishing house or whatever releases a movie, they're not expected to come out with extra shit. They just release the movie and you buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So your question is, should they be required to put more content out for that game that's like considered like launch day content?
Mm-hmm. Morally,
no, because a lot of the DLC is going to be free anyways. But it got me thinking of like older games though. So this is like a slight tangent, but like some of the older games I remember had like excellent replay value. that was also free and available on the actual disc that you were playing. So like if I'm
Mhm.
thinking like Metal Gear Solid, for example, you played that game several times through to get the bandana, or you played several times through to get like a specific like amount of like equipment. Or Resident Evil, you did like second runs to
Mhm.
unlock different characters. Um, so I would expect that to be the reason why we didn't get any sort of DLCs because there was replay value. A lot of these
Which they
games
don't.
don't really have a lot of replay value, to be honest. Like, I mean, are you going to sit there and play God of War 4 again, straight through?
No.
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason that they're not putting replay value into it is because they want you to purchase the DLC?
Yes.
So yeah, because either way, they know they're making less money at $60. They're making less money than they ever have. They're spending more than they ever have on the video game. I mean, for example, Grand Theft Auto 5 cost $500 million to make, and it's a $60 product. That's crazy.
Yeah, but like,
So
think of how much money they've made now with all the microtransactions, the online, the DLCs, the shark
exactly.
cards, all of that. Like, you got to think that with the I guess the phenomenon known as microtransactions or paid for DLC, it's like they got to make way more money off of that, especially a game like
hmm
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto is kind of an anomaly and maybe a poor example because Grand Theft Auto made $500 million back day one. It
Okay.
was the fastest that it's made the most money of any like entertainment medium ever in one day. Like it was an insane amount of money.
All right.
But I
Take
agree
take
with you.
Mortal Kombat for example.
Yeah.
So some of the games that they came out with before, like let's say Mortal Kombat 9, there were different characters that you could unlock by doing certain aspects of the story mode. Like they didn't really have DLCs, not a lot of DLCs, I should say, because like they did end up having like Freddy Krueger, but like
Well, let me. Uh,
now you got like DLCs for the entire combat pack. That I think that was like a $40 value or something like that.
yeah. Let me ask you something because since you know about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
So when Mortal Kombat 9, well, for example, even an older game,
right.
like Mortal Kombat 9, when that came out, how did it have a lot of unlockable characters that you could just unlock through playing the game?
Yeah, I mean there was like Cyber Sub-Zero. I want to say that there was like God, I can't remember. No, it didn't have a lot actually. It didn't have a lot. There was
Uh,
Scarlet, there was Freddy
mhm.
Krueger, Cyber Sub-Zero, and that I
And
mean,
that's an yeah, yeah, that's a newer game too. But I know back like in the day of Tekken 3, you started with like 8 characters, and there was like another 15 to unlock.
yeah.
Now, Mortal Kombat today, Mortal Kombat 11, how many characters can you unlock without like purchasing anything? Do you start with everyone, or do
You
you
s-
start
you start with like I
with just
think
a few?
25, and then there's I want to say that there's like seven unlock 7 or 8 unlockable characters because you had Shao Kahn, which was DLC or the pre-order bonus. You
I mean,
have
like, I'm talking like unlockable through playing the
oh,
game is what I'm asking. Yeah.
there was just one through playing the game, as far as I
So you
know. Frost.
Yeah, so you started with 25 characters and you had one character to unlock.
Yeah,
That's your replayability right there. Whereas Tekken, you started with like 8 characters and you had like 15 to unlock. So
yeah.
there is so much more replayability. That's what I'm just thinking out loud.
Well, Mortal Kombat 11 is placing their replayability in other avenues because of all of the customizations you can do. They
That
have
makes
all those
sense.
challenge towers where you can unlock certain skins, certain equipment, certain augments, and stuff like that. So that's where I think they're placing most of their replayability, and not so
That
much in the
makes sense.
characters anymore. But I
That makes
think that
sense.
Mortal Kombat's a unique animal because they, number one, have captured a little bit of the old-fashioned replayability factor, but also are dipping into DLC as well. With the combat packs and the ability to buy some of those skins.
It's interesting. I mean, times are changing, and I think I told you my estimation is that I believe that when the next console games come out, that we will see a price jump of video games from $59.99 to I'm guessing $64.99, or maybe on the high side $69.99, increase of $5 or $10.
I
I could
mean,
see it.
with the way that you said inflation has valued some of these games, I mean, it wouldn't be far fetched to say that I think that would start at like $69.99.
Yeah, I mean the thing is whenever, and I thought about it, I was like, damn, people are going to be mad. But then I thought about it, and that same thing happened from $49.99. They're like, okay, now games are $59. And I was like, $59.99? That's crazy. And now today it's just a norm, so it wouldn't surprise me if they increased the price of video games. You know, like new video games for consoles.
But I'm not like feeling bad for like developers at all, because like again, they have so many other devices to be able to gain their money back, you know, with devices like, you know, DLCs and special editions or premium editions of certain copies. It's like by no means am I feeling bad that developers are being stuck with a devalued product, because it's not really devalued. In my eyes, it's not.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I just wanted to also take a look at the other side a little bit, because I think a lot of people just think, oh, they're just charging money. They just want money. They just want, you know. But I don't think necessarily all publishers are money hungry, money grabbing, trying to get as much as they can. I think a lot of them require these microtransactions to survive. They're not making as much money up front as they used to, so they have to keep their core engaged. At the same time, their core audience is demanding more than they ever have.
I think there has to be at least a baseline of money hungriness from each of these publishers. So that's the only part of that I disagree with, is that you have to have at least a baseline of money hungriness. But you're right. They probably aren't making as much. Like if we're even considering some of the smaller publishers too, like they're going to rely on a lot more people to buy games, and they're going to have to rely on DLCs and so forth, and microtransactions.
Mm-hmm. I think I agree with you to a point. I think it just depends on the publisher too.
Yeah.
I'm being too general by saying that, because I mean, like EA and like Activision, they are money hungry, but I see like CD Projekt Red, I don't think they're money hungry by charging $30 for the expansion for The Witcher 3. It's just a lot of content, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that you're right. I think that it just depends on the publisher, just like anything else.
Yeah, and there's almost like a baseline of desire, like as far as like money is concerned. Like you have to want to make money if you're a publisher, and you have to have certain tactics in order to get revenue, right? Like otherwise, why would they even be in the business of, you know?
Yep, just like
games?
any other business. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, got to make money. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about that, or anything else to wrap up?
No. I think that's it. I think that was a good but short segment on you know, the way the video games have evolved as far as pricing is concerned.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any shout outs?
Oh, tons, dude. I want to shout out Mr. Lonely. I want to shout out Kevin, Katie, my sister Patricia, Ben's mom, Jacob's mother. Rest in peace, Jacob. And then that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, shout out to my wife, Patrick, Robbie, Kat, Raven, all great listeners. Thank you for listening.
Shout out Jackson.
Shout out Jackson. If he even listens anymore, the great and powerful Kooky Lukey. And
shout out Thodes. Sorry, what was yours?
Okay. Jordan.
Okay, cool.
Thank you all for listening. It's been great. It's been fun. We're sorry we're a little late. But hey, NBD, thank you for listening. Good night.
Laters.